In Shogun Episode 8, Father Martin Alvito reminds Toranaga to fulfill his part of the agreement. In return, Toranaga grants Martin land for a church in the city of Edo. Father Martin initially sees this as a victory until he realizes the plot is next to a tea house, a fancy term for a Japanese brothel. Now let's rewind the background of this deal, the role of Christianity in Japan during the Edo period, and why Toranaga placed the church next to the tea house. In third episode of Shogun, to secure escape from Osaka, Toranaga makes a bargain with the Portuguese. In exchange for safe passage on their black ship, he agreed to some terms, including granting land in Edo City for a church. This concession was a gamble, because many in Japan viewed Christianity with suspicion, and Toranaga risked internal dissent. But survival trumped potential conflict. He secured escape and a potential foreign alliance, leaving the future of religious tolerance in Japan uncertain. The price of freedom was a church in Edo. Fast forward in the 7th episode, Jin, the owner of Willow World, seizes a rare chance with Lord Toranaga. She seeks more than just business prosperity. Jin proposes a courtesan guild in Toranaga's new Edo, granting them respect and security. This also elevates the profession, shaping them into figures of refined culture, foreshadowing the geisha. It's a strategic move. A well-respected district in Edo would attract high-class clients to her own Willow World. Toranaga, initially skeptical, is eventually intrigued by Gin's vision and her grasp of her goals. Toranaga includes Jin's requests in his will for the shogun. Now, to understand better the reason behind the placement of the church and the tea house at the same location, we need to know the role of Christianity in Japan. During the Edo period in Japan, Christianity encountered substantial obstacles and restrictions imposed by the Tokugawa shogunate. These restrictions were primarily driven by concerns over the perceived threats that Christianity posed to political stability and the existing social order. The shogunate feared that the spread of Christianity could lead to foreign interference, undermine traditional Japanese values, and challenge the authority of the ruling regime. Christianity's emphasis on equality and universal salvation clashed with Japan's rigid social hierarchy and the dominance of Buddhism and Shinto. The shoguns saw Christianity as a potential catalyst for rebellion, threatening the existing social fabric and the dominance of traditional beliefs. By suppressing Christianity, the Tokugawa regime aimed to preserve a unified Japan, free from foreign influence and internal dissent. Toranaga's decision to place the church near a tea house, a venue associated with entertainment and social activities, can be seen within this context of religious and political dynamics. The proximity of the church to a tea house served as a symbolic representation of the clash between different cultural and religious ideologies prevalent during that era. One interpretation is that it might be a subtle way to undermine Christianity's legitimacy. Toranaga wanted to highlight the moral ambiguity or contradictions within Christian teachings, particularly concerning issues of morality and societal norms. By positioning the church next to an establishment known for activities that might be viewed as morally questionable or taboo by some segments of society, Toranaga may have intended to provoke a reflection on the perceived incongruities or complexities within Christian doctrine. Another reason can be interpreted as stirring conflict between the church and the tea house. Toranaga could weaken both their influences. Imagine if the churchgoers complained about the brothel's activities, or the brothel workers took offense to the church's teachings. This could create a social spectacle that would distract from any potential threats to his power, or Toranaga might be testing the resolve of Father Martin and the early Christians. If they could survive and thrive in such a difficult location, it would demonstrate the strength of their faith. Perhaps Toranaga isn't trying to destroy Christianity, but rather bend it to his will. Imagine if the church ended up ministering to the brothel workers, spreading a message of redemption alongside religious teachings. Unfortunately, there's no definitive answer to Toranaga's personal beliefs or his view of Christianity in James Clavell's novel Shogun. The book offers clues, but leaves room for interpretation. Toranaga is portrayed as a shrewd strategist who prioritizes power and control. Religion might be a tool for him, not a source of personal faith. In conclusion, Toranaga's decision to place the church next to the tea house in Shogun remains a complex act open to interpretation. By considering the historical context of Japan's Edo period, the potential threats Christianity posed to the Tokugawa shogunate, and Toranaga's own strategic and possibly manipulative nature, we can explore various motives behind this unusual placement. The ambiguity surrounding Toranaga's actions is what keeps us pondering his character and the political machinations at play in James Clavell's captivating novel.